Up and then I felt heaviness on my leg, and then I looked down and I feel like I'm getting pulled.
One witness remembers watching the croc drag her into the ocean. The group watched Hummel battling the crocodile, its teeth digging into her right shin and then her left ankle.
Another woman reportedly attacked by a crocodile on the same beach in Puerto Vallarta 3 years ago. This is ABC News.
O'Reilly. Ready for your next road trip? Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts to get everything you need to stay safe while traveling. Visibility on the road is so important and so easy to achieve. Get your windshield streak-free and crystal clear with Blue Magic Glass Cleaner. On sale now, 2 for $5. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
This is ONN. The Ohio Department of Health yesterday released new recommendations for schools as staff and students prepare to return to the classroom. ONN's Bryant Somerville has the details.
The Ohio Department of Health Chief Medical Officer Bruce Vanderhoff will be suggesting 3 levels of protection. First, strongly recommending vaccines for staff and older students who are eligible for the vaccine, those who are unvaccinated, and those younger than 12 years of age to consistently wear masks. Finally, improving ventilation by social distancing, using hand sanitizer, and getting as much fresh air in the schools as possible.
In Columbus, Bryant Somerville.
And an investigation is underway into how a fire started at the apartments that sit on top of former Buckeyes head coach Urban Meyer's Pint House in the Columbus suburb of Dublin last night. Yolanda Harris with affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus has more.
Police say the fire started on the roof of the building. The entire place was evacuated. The man who sent us video of the flames says he and some friends were on the 5th floor when the smoke alarms went off.
We walked down the hall, could smell smoke. By the time we got in the stairwell, the smoke was very, very strong, and the flames probably 15, 20 feet high when we got outside. Dublin and the other fire departments did a great job, got here really fast, got it out within 20, 30 minutes.
Fortunately, no one was injured in the fire. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
Attorney Tom McIntyre.
Life. It may knock you down, but you don't have to say that way. I'm Tom McIntyre. I'm a bankruptcy attorney, and I'm here to help you. Give us a call, and we'll send you a copy of my free book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. It's an interesting read, and it'll explain bankruptcy to you like no other book does. Give us a call. We're here to help.
Call Thomas E. McIntyre and Associates at 304-232-8600. Allow us to help put you back on the road to financial success.
This is a big deal. Now, at healthcare.gov, millions more people can afford health coverage. Due to the COVID relief law, 4 out of 5 customers can get a plan for under $10 a month with financial help. From doctor visits to preventive services to prescription drugs, these are quality plans. You can do this. You can have coverage as soon as August 1st if you sign up now at healthcare.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. This is Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
This past year was incredibly hard on teachers, education support professionals, and students alike. But instead of focusing on tedious academic drills to make up for lost ground, everyone needs to reset and focus on the social and emotional growth opportunities that come with a normal summer break. Get out and enjoy a true summer of fun.
Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
We live for piles of paper. Countless calculations, and exact on-the-button balances. More than a phone call at the end of the year to make sure you're square with Uncle Sam. We're an internal resource to run payroll, manage bookkeeping, handle accounts payable, prep and file taxes, and consult for the long-term financial health of your business. Always exact. Glessner and Associates.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner.
Sunshine, a warm and muggy day with a high near 91 degrees. Clear, pleasant overnight 61 for the low. Mostly sunny for your Wednesday with highs in the upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
All right, listen up, you guys.
Morning.
It's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
I am loving the sound of your voice.
Good morning, sunshine.
Crank up the radio.
You all ready for the big show? Happy Tuesday, everybody.
And action.
Okay, let's do it.
Hey, guys. You ready to let the dogs out?
All right, let's do this.
Yes, we are ready to let the dogs out.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It's showtime.
The Valley is nearing a return to normal, and we're celebrating with the 100 days of summer. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
It is going to feel like summer again today, just as it did yesterday, and a hot summer indeed. Sunshine, blue skies, going to be great looking and warm. No hot. Going to be flirting with 90 once again today. Maybe not quite as muggy as it was yesterday. That's the only good news in there. I guess it's all good news, but it'll be a little bit better than yesterday because maybe not quite as muggy as it was. Right now, 59 degrees, clear skies, the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 60 degrees, some light fog outside my home studios here in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and 60 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling. In the heart of the Ohio Valley was up today. You know, it was only a short time ago, Biff, the Mountain State COVID map was all green. And I kind of forgot we even had a map. The Department of Health and Human Resources still puts a map out. You know, we had to pay attention to it last year because of schools. Now that's all gone, but the map is still issued. And just a short time ago, every county was green. Now, almost all of our panhandle has dropped into yellow. Not almost. All of our panhandle was into yellow, except for Marshall County down to gold. So the colors are changing, just like the seasons and the leaves. The problem is they're doing it because COVID is beginning to rise, and concerns about that are revolving all around the country. We got a lot of COVID news and info to pass along to you coming up in just a bit. The House Commission on January 6th insurrection begins its work today. Our national correspondent Tom Squitieri and I are going to talk about what they will begin to do today, what their game plan is going to be, and also the troubles that have occurred getting to this point with the huge bipartisan fight over this commission. It's coming up with Tom Squitieri. The back and forth between Governor Justice and his creditors is continuing. We'll look at some of the latest salvos. Our week-long series from ABC on gun violence continues, an in-depth look at kids and guns. Cybersecurity expert Jen Miller Osborne will join us to look at the growing threat of ransomware, what it is, how to prevent it, what to do if you're a victim of ransomware. We'll get into that later on today. Plus, homeschooling is growing, the latest Olympic medal count and the latest from the Olympics. And we'll start off, Biffy, with another NFL team adjusting its mascot to avoid offense. We talked yesterday, Biff, about the Cleveland Guardians now, and you were suggesting that, what's next? I like yours, the Kansas City Royals. Meghan and Harry have quit the royal family. Maybe the Royals aren't maybe we shouldn't be offending the Royals anymore. Or some of the other ones you were suggesting yesterday, Biff?
The Royals, the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
The at one time Los Angeles Angels, California Angels. Yeah, whatever.
That's what. Yeah, can't offend the religious group, the Angels. Yeah, right.
And then the other one that we kind of poked fun at was the New York Yankees.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs are in the game now, Biff. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs have said they are not going to change their nickname. They are going to stay the Kansas City Chiefs. They say that they have, and I quote here, a really good American Indian working group that provides guidance and feedback and perspective. So they have a group of Native Americans that they consult with and they talk to, and apparently their consulting group feels that Kansas City Chiefs, the Chiefs name itself, and this next part is interesting, that the Chiefs name itself is okay. So they're going to stay the Kansas City Chiefs. But their mascot is going to change. Their mascot is going to change. They will retire their horse mascot, which has been named War Paint. So they're going to keep the Chiefs' name, but they're not going to have a mascot named a horse named War Paint. That just seems strange to me. Does that? I mean, a horse named War Paint doesn't seem to me nearly as I won't say anti, but as derogatory, I guess, towards Native Americans as does the name Chiefs. I guess what I'm saying is, if you're going to keep the Chiefs, why not keep War Paint the horse? But they are going to change the horse. They're not going to have a horse mascot named War Paint anymore. What do you think, Biff?
Actually, I didn't even know they had a horse mascot to begin with.
Neither.
I mean, the only thing the character that goes through the crowd that you see sometimes. I mean, I knew they had that as their mascot, but I didn't realize that they actually had a horse that I guess apparently comes running out onto the field.
I guess so. And
So
it's named
I-
war paint. And I guess the name is what's offensive. War paint. And I get that. I mean, Native Americans, war paint. I'm not suggesting they should have changed the name Chiefs, but if they felt that the Chiefs was okay, I don't get why the horse named War Paint would be worse. That to me just seems a little bit bit silly.
Find another name for it and keep doing what you're doing, I guess. But
Last year, the Chiefs did ban anybody in the stadium from wearing Native American style headdresses and no face paint in the stadium. Although, interestingly enough, what I would think is probably the most offensive. So the Kansas City Chiefs last year said you can't wear face paint. I get it. That's really parodying, making fun of Native Americans. So I get that. And no feather headdresses and so on. And I suppose none of that. So they banned all that kind of stuff. Although they still allow the tomahawk chop. And it would strike me the tomahawk chop is probably more offensive or as offensive as anything else. Anyways, they're threading the needle. The Kansas City Chiefs, so we have the Washington football team having dropped the Redskins name, and they'll have a new name soon. The Cleveland Indians have changed from the Indians to the Guardians. The Kansas City Chiefs, though, say we're going to stay the Chiefs. But we're not going to have a horse named War Paint anymore. So, Biff, we kind of joked about it yesterday, but you have to wonder, what's next? How far is it going to go?
don't think you can go too much further than mascots, but I don't know.
I don't know. And again, I just don't. I mean, I openly admit, and we talked about this yesterday when we were talking to Bob on the phone line about African Americans being able to use the N-word among themselves and so on. And I made the point that sometimes it's hard to put yourself in the shoes of someone you're not. So I try to think of what would be offensive or not offensive to Native Americans, but I'm not a Native American, so I don't know. But I just can't help but think that, in my mind, horse named War Paint is not that big a deal. I get the woo stuff. I get that in the headdress, and again, tomahawk chop to me I think would be offensive. Actually, I don't know. I guess chiefs are the idea of the chiefs is the chief is a proud figure, right? I mean, the chief is a leader. He is a proud figure, head of the tribe. So I guess maybe that's why their focus group thinks chief is okay.
Or maybe they, I know it didn't say it in the story, but maybe they talked with, I don't know, somebody or a group or whatever and said, is it okay if we still use the nickname Chiefs? And they gave them the okay, and that's why they stuck with it. I mean, they may have gotten permission to use it, but...
Oh, I think that's the case. The president of the Chiefs said that they consult with and I quote here, really good American Indian working group. So I gather they've put together some Native Americans into some kind of sort of I don't want to call focus group. They call it a working group. So they have a consulting group of Native Americans, and they work with them and say, what do you think about this? So I think I have to assume that group said, no, Chiefs is okay. But that's what confuses me. If Chiefs is okay, but the War Paint horse is not okay, I just don't.
Yeah,
it doesn't. I don't know.
Maybe PETA's not as likely for names as the people that they consulted with the Chiefs on.
You make a good point. I forgot about that. We talked about it yesterday. PETA could always get involved in this stuff, and then Lord knows what's going to happen. So, anyway, we talked about the Indians yesterday. We've talked about the Washington football team on numerous occasions, and it's not going to stop. I mean, it's going to continue. The issues of offensive names or inappropriate names is going to continue. Right now, it's focused on Native Americans. I'm not so sure, but you didn't hit the nail on the head yesterday when you said At some point, when we've dealt with all the Native American names, we'll be turning our attention to other issues. The Royals, the Angels, the Yankees. Well, at least it gives credence to the cheer they say at the end of a Yankees game when they win the game, Biffy. You know, the play-by-play guy always goes, "The Yankees win! The Yankees win!" And they did.
Yes, they did.
I guess that would work. 7:21, 21 after the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. We're looking at 59 degrees at the airport, 60 here at my home studios and at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. I didn't even realize they were still putting out these COVID maps. Did you, Biff? I guess when I saw it yesterday, I realized they were, but I completely forgotten about it. The Department of Health and Human Resources still puts out a map every week.
Yeah, I think the only time I actually noticed is when if the governor was doing one of his many conferences, and every once in a while you would see it pop up, or he'd be talking about numbers or whatever, and every once in a while you'd see it pop up, and it's like, oh, there's that darn thing again.
It doesn't have any real meaning anymore. I mean, it's right now at least, it's not dictating whether you have school or whether you can play football or anything. It's there just so you can kind of see what the COVID situation is. And of course, we all were green for a period of time, and so I kind of, okay, well, let's forget about that. We're all doing well. But the map is changing. We'll talk about that and some other COVID information as we may have to bring back our COVID update theme here one of these days because we're doing more and more COVID talk. And we have some more for you coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show, where it's 7:22.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watch.
$1 for firearms, gold, silver, tools, coins, and electronics. Don't lose your good credit. Let us give you instant cash. Stop by 2 North Broadway Street on Wheeling Island, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Island Pawn Brokers. Stop in for instant cash.
African Safari Wildlife Park, the Midwest's only drive-through safari park, is home to many animals from around the world. Feed the animals up close and personal from the comfort of your own vehicle. Stroll the walkthrough with its many exciting animals on exhibit and enjoy educational animal programs. Visit the gift shop for souvenirs, food, and cold drinks. Don't miss out on the fun and family adventure and the unbeatable photo opportunities at African Safari Wildlife Park, located in Port Clinton, Ohio. For more details, visit AfricanSafariWildlifePark.com.
The best in local talk is on your FM dial, 98.1 and 97.7. We are the Watchdog.
You can watch a video cast of our show every morning on Facebook Live or on our website. Plus, check archives of all of our videos on the Watchdog YouTube channel. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
You can watch the Facebook Live video on my personal Facebook page on the Watchdogs page. You can also catch an archive version on our YouTube channel, and you can watch it live at our watchdognetwork.com website. So multiple ways for you to actually watch the video stream. I was actually surprised over the weekend. I mentioned to you I had my 50th high school reunion, and a number of old classmates said, "Oh, yeah, I watch you." And actually, one of them said, "I listen to you every morning." She said, "Well, actually, I watch you in the morning. I watch the video screen." I said, "Oh, boy. You just want to see if I'm looking as old as you are. Is that what is that what it is? But if you're watching us on video, please remember, like us and share us on the Facebook page. Hit the like button and then share. Hit the share button and share it to your timeline or your news feed or wherever you want to share it to, so other people can watch with us as well. We are the Watchdog Morning Show. We've talked over the course of the past year plus about what will be the new normal when we come out of COVID, and we are sort of looking to the sky right now. I think we're coming out of COVID for the most part now. What's the new normal going to be? One of the things we've talked a lot about are schools, and will remote schooling be an ongoing part of educational opportunities? And I think they will. For example, I think you will see there won't be ever again snow days. Now, if kids can't get to school because of snow, they'll just have remote learning and so on. Another schooling fallout apparently is more and more families are opting for homeschooling for their kids. It used to be homeschooling was often a factor of someone who felt the schools weren't teaching good moral values or were teaching some principles they didn't like. We wish they would teach more of they're teaching too much evolution, not enough Bible, that kind of stuff. That tended to be where homeschooling often occurred. Now it's more and more parents are apparently considering what's happened in the past over COVID, having now seen a little bit of what the remote learning is like, that they feel they can homeschool their kids better. A lot of them are those kids, parents who have kids with special education needs. So they tried homeschooling a little more aggressively during COVID than they had prior to that, and they thought it was going to be temporary, and now they're thinking, I think maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do that. U.S. Census Bureau says that in March of reported in March of this year that by September of last year, the rate of households homeschooling their children rose to 11%. That is more than double what it was just 6 months earlier. So homeschooling may be one of those unexpected side effects of the pandemic. The state of California and New York City both announced yesterday that all of their government employees must either get tested or have weekly COVID testing done must either get vaccinated or have weekly COVID testing done. That's in the state of California and New York City. And the Department of Veterans Affairs, Federal Department of Veterans Affairs, became the first major federal agency requiring its healthcare workers to get vaccinated. So if you work for the Department of Veterans Affairs and you are in healthcare, you are required to get a vaccination. Now, the country's vaccination rate began to go up again a little bit yesterday. The 7-day rolling average on Sunday was about 583,000 vaccinations a day. That was on Sunday. The week ahead of that, the week before that, it was 525,000. So we are seeing the vaccination rate roll up. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Biff, I think some of it's because a lot of the anti-vaxxers are getting deathly sick with COVID. I mentioned Phil Valentine as a talk show host. I happen to know him. That's why I focus on him. I think he's gotten a couple of CNN stories and so on. Phil was out of Nashville. He was a strong conservative radio talk show host. He was an anti-vaccine kind of guy. You don't need to get it. I mean, unless your doctor specifically says it's your requirement because of your personal health issues, you don't have to have a vaccine. He didn't get one. He is now in serious, serious condition in the hospital with COVID, and he has now turned around and started telling people, get the vaccine, as we have seen many other conservative pundits and Republican leaders do as well. As Governor Justice said a month or so ago, maybe what it takes is death for people to begin to think about getting the vaccine. Now, I'm looking at 1 week's trend here, so maybe it'll go back next week, but between last Sunday and this past Sunday, there was a significant increase in the vaccination rate. So I guess that's good. But as I mentioned, the map in West Virginia is interesting, Biff. I hadn't paid any attention at all, period. I just, last I saw, everything was green. I assumed that we all were green. And then yesterday, the map happened to cross my path, and 18 counties in West Virginia, including all of the Panhandle, are not green. Are not green. Now, the good news is there's no red county this week. Last week, Webster County was red. It has now moved to orange in the map that came out on Monday of this week. They only do them once a week now. But 18 counties, and that's 5 more than last week in West Virginia. 18 counties are now either orange, gold, or yellow on the county alert map. In the Panhandle, Brooke, Hancock, Ohio counties are all yellow. Marshall County is now in the gold category. We have 6 gold counties, including Marshall, as I mentioned. We have 11 yellow counties, including Brooke, Hancock, and Ohio counties. We still have 37 that are in the green. I mean, that's good. But still, this is no longer a bright green map. This is not like looking at a bright green forest anymore. This is looking at a variegated map again. So it's just an example of how things are beginning to change and adapt, Biff. And again, I guess I have to start looking at the map on a regular basis again. It doesn't do anything. There's nothing that's impacted by it. I mean, there's no, schools aren't impacted. I don't think anybody has to do anything because of that map. But it does give you an idea of what's happening. What's happening is, and we talked to Howard Gamble from the Health Department of Ohio County about it yesterday, 33 cases last week in Ohio County, which is a much larger number than we had been having. It's nowhere near what we had been having during the height of the pandemic, but it's much larger than we've been having recently. And I don't know what the total number is. Howard told us yesterday that the weekend cases were, quote, blossoming. So I don't know what that was. Marshall County's health department had 8 positive and 1 probable COVID cases over the course of this weekend as well. So the numbers are beginning to rise.
And again, I think it to factor in the season. I mean, it's summer. Yeah. A lot of people want to be out and are getting out and doing things, and you never want to wish the summer away, but when we get into the fall season, I mean, are those numbers going to start going down again, or are they gonna stay the same? So I think
we're out, we're about, we're trying to do more things. And again, all of us, and my hand is raised because I am no better than anybody else in this. I think a lot of us have just sort of said, I'm going back to normal. Everything is the same as it used to be. I've been, for over a year, I hadn't been out to a restaurant at all. Then I tiptoed back in a couple of times, and now the last couple of times I've been to a restaurant, they've been crowded and there've been people around, and I just do my thing. Only time I wear a mask, I have medical appointments, and even that's starting to change. I don't know. I think Wheeling Hospital, WVU Medicine Wheeling Hospital, is still going to require a mask, but they're lightening up some of their COVID requirements as well. The only time I have to wear a mask, yesterday I had again some more medical appointments out of town, and big sign, must wear a mask when you go in. And I was looking, and I got lectured too. So I wear my mask going in, and then I go back into the back with the doctor's office and do my stuff. And on my way out, and they go, yep, the door's right there. You just literally, I'm walking like 4 steps to the door, and I didn't put the mask back on. And someone said, excuse me, sir, put that mask on until you get to the door. It's like 4 steps. There's nobody here, but no, I put my mask on. Governor DeWine said yesterday that he might like to, but he can't. He has no authority to mandate masks in schools. He said he's worried about what might happen when school gets back in session. If we have too many unvaccinated folks around, that kids can't be vaccinated in the lower grades, and he says he cannot mandate masks in schools. So that issue is sitting there of concern to him. All right, so that's my COVID info for you here this morning. I said I think we'll be keeping track of this more and more for a while. It's been interesting. Today is the mayor's State of the City speech, Biff, over at the casino.
Yes, it is.
Which I'll be going to. And McCabe and I are going to meet so we can have lunch together and make fun of the mayor and everybody while they're making their speech. No, only kidding, Mr. Mayor. only kidding. But it'll be a big, large gathering. Will people wear masks? I don't know. Are masks required at the casino, Biff? Do you know?
Actually, I know they've got their program over there. They may be. I don't know because I haven't been over there in over a year, but I know they've got their Play It Safe program, so they may still require you to wear one.
I don't know. I always have mine in my pocket, so when I get there, if they say put that mask on, boy, I will put my mask on proudly. 9:37, 23 till the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. I don't like to spend a lot of time with the goofy side of the Trump followers. I just don't. There's just some absolutely unbelievably goofy stuff, the QAnon kind of stuff and so on. But there's one story that crossed my desk yesterday. And I hope this is not widespread among QAnon or anybody else. But there is one story that is at least out there in Trump land that people are talking about. I've got to share it with you. Of course, some of you will go, it's probably true, Howard. It's true. You don't want to believe it. The rest of you will join me in going, oh, you got to be kidding me. I'll tell you that tale coming up in a minute or two. Plus, we'll talk weather with Zach. But first, we'll check some news from the Big Seven right now.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's And so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
The annual Wheelin' Feelin' Chili Cook-Off is right around the corner. Join us August 7th from noon to 6 for the Ohio Valley's best chili. Stop on down at Wheeling's Heritage Port to enjoy great food, an antique car show, and live music featuring the New Age Adinas and Eli and the Mojo Kings. The Wheeling Feeling Chili Cook-Off is an International Chili Society sanctioned event, and all proceeds benefit the United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley. Saturday, August 7th at Wheeling's Heritage Port from noon to 6, rain or shine. See you there.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Follow us on Facebook for the latest news, show updates, podcasts, alerts, and live video streams from the Valley's only network dedicated to local, community-driven talk radio, The Watchdog.
You can vote in our Watchdog poll and read commentary in our blogs on watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Our friends at Wallet.com come up with numbers every day, and they rank states on different things. We talk about them from time to time. They have come up with a list of the best and worst states for education, Biffy. Which side of that aisle do you think West Virginia comes down on?
I'm saying near the bottom on that.
You are right, my Brad friend. And we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on this morning here on the show. Right now, we'll talk with Zach Petty from the Big 7, WTRF TV, where he gave us a real summer day for sure yesterday. Good morning, Zach.
Hey, yep, good Tuesday morning, Howard. And I got another superb, sun-filled stellar of a Tuesday for you.
Another hot one.
Hot one. If you have the opportunity to cool off in your son's pool, I'd be ringing that doorbell saying, "Hey, it's your dad here. I'm ready to cool off in the pool, please."
We spent, I think, 5 hours in the pool, Teddy and I, yesterday. The other folks kept saying, all right, guys, get out. And Teddy and I, in fact, at one point, Teddy said, "We're going to stay in until the street lights come on."
Oh, there you go.
But I think we spent 5 hours in the pool yesterday because it was a good pool day yesterday, and it will be another good one today. So I'll probably go down and I may not knock on the door. I may just sneak around back and just jump in.
As long as you don't get called for breaking and entering.
Well, that's
there is that.
There is that. But it is going to be a nice, pretty much the same as yesterday, right? Maybe a little bit warmer.
Yeah, the best chance for 90 degrees, Howard, I think is going to be today, even though temperatures yesterday, today, and tomorrow will all be in the upper 80s. I'm saying 88 for the high over at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport and throughout the area, but best chance for 90 degrees is going to be today. If anything, heat index values might approach the low 90s, 91, 92, maybe 93. The one positive side about it being the heat for today is that it's not going to be as muggy. It was pretty oppressively muggy, especially early on in the day, especially by lunch. But as we headed into dinner time and through the evening, dew point temperatures were actually starting to dry out and starting to get back into the comfortable category. I don't expect it to be completely comfortable or downright pleasant, but it might feel slightly sticky, but it's not going to be anything oppressively muggy. You know what I'm trying to say?
I do indeed. It was definitely a sticky day yesterday, a good bit of the day. The sun was really, I was in the pool, so you don't notice it, but when you get out of the pool, sit on the deck for a little bit, the sun was really intense. I mean, it was burning down on you pretty good. You got to be more, I shouldn't say more careful, but you have to be careful about sunscreen and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, UV index is very high yet again, and the UV index, it's kind of a funky thing that I forget what U.S. Department of so-and-so says, but the UV index, it has the scale from 0 to 11 plus, with 11 being extreme UV index or UV exposure. But even though it's a 10 or it's a 9 today, it's still very high. Sunburn takes place in about 20 minutes. So the other thing, too, we have to remind everyone is to stay hydrated because that's one of the first things that happen, especially with doing any sort of activity. It'll take a lot out of you because you're sweating and you're moving around. You just need to keep that water in you just so that way you can stay afloat and not be belly up if you're swimming, if you're trying to be outside today.
That's a real important point. I began to cramp up when I was in the pool for a while yesterday, and I had to get out and drink a couple bottles of water to get myself rehydrated. Actually, a little Gatorade too.
Yep.
You have to be careful. It's just something that sneaks up on you. You don't think about it. The sun's out. You're in the pool. You're having fun. Oh boy, ain't this great! And all of a sudden, you realize, no, I need to hydrate better. Tomorrow, pretty much the same. Yes.
Yeah, essentially the same. Maybe the only thing that I'll change is a couple more clouds in the skies. Mid to upper 80s, we'll be back right around 87 for the high. A stray shower, there's an upper level disturbance that's going to be working in ahead of the cold front that's expected to pass on Thursday. A stray shower could develop late in the day, but I expect most of the morning and afternoon to remain dry and pleasant with those temperatures right around 87 tomorrow.
Now, unfortunately, on Biff's golf day on Thursday, that's where we begin to start to see some rain coming in, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm sure Brother Biff can attest to this. He can't really complain too much just because almost the last 3 weeks, I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, Thursdays were the best day out of almost all the days over the last 3 work weeks. And if it's a few rain showers, which again, it's much needed rain showers, because on Thursday, that would be 12 straight days without any measurable precipitation at the Wheeling, Ohio County airports. We're at day 10 right now. 11 would be Wednesday. 12 days would be on Thursday. So we need some rain showers, but if anything, it shouldn't be a complete washout. He might even be able to get in some golf late in the day once this cold front finally pushes through. So I would be optimistic as to if Brother Biff would be able to still keep his tee time off to go golfing late in the day on Thursday.
Biff, actually, this has been a pretty good year for you guys. If I'm trying to remember last year, I think you got rained out more last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we did. The beginning of this year was kind of slow a little bit. I think we had about two weeks there early on, and then knock on something, whatever this table is
Knock on
made
my
of.
head,
Yeah,
knock on wood, yeah.
whatever this table here is made of. But the last couple of weeks we've been good. So kind of getting towards later in the year, and hopefully we stay on this good path that we've been on.
And the weekend, Zach, is going to be what?
It's going to be pretty comfortable. Once this cold front moves through, that's going to bring a much cooler and comfortable air mass. I think Friday, Howard, if you were to ask me, what is your personal best day of the work week look to be? I think it's going to be Friday. Temperatures will be right around 80 degrees. Dew point temperatures will be very comfortable and pleasant with a much drier air mass overhead. Saturday, the start of your weekend, looks to be pretty favorable as well. Mostly sunny, low 80s, cool and comfortable. A stray couple of showers could develop late on Sunday, but all in all, if you're looking at Friday and Saturday with mostly sunny skies and cool air, very comfortable, seasonable for this time of year, I think it's going to be a pretty nice weekend aside from maybe a few more clouds and a stray shower on Sunday. So all in all, pretty fair, I would have to say.
So really, as we look at the whole week here, a couple of real nice, hot and sunny days. Maybe a little bit of rain on Thursday, going to the weekend fairly pleasant. All in all, not a bad, and we need that rain, as you pointed out.
Right.
All in all, not a bad week at all.
No, not a whole lot to find any sort of complaints on, even though you always get a complaint out of me just because anytime it's hot and muggy, even though it's not going to be too muggy today, anytime it's hot and muggy, so more so Wednesday and Thursday, I'll put any sort of complaints down. But no real complaints, and I'm looking at my forecast sheet.
And 59, I'm looking at current temperature, clear skies at the airport, 60, and I closed my door, so I had some light fog here when I started the show 40 minutes ago or so. I don't know if it's still out there or not, but 60 degrees here at the home studio. It's a little bit of light fog, at least that's what I had earlier today.
All in all, good stuff. And Howard, how crazy is it that August is on Sunday?
And Saturday is my birthday. Don't forget that,
Yep,
please.
Saturday's your birthday. August is on Sunday. That means school is right around the corner.
Well, for many parents, they're happy.
True.
You know, kids have been home too long, remote learning, and get them back in school. So, but yeah, it's. I was looking at this, and back to school sales are starting already. I think the sales tax holiday is coming up, where you can buy things with, in Ohio at least, with the sales tax free, and so it's just time. And we talked this a couple times before, and I got to move on, but 2020 seemed to drag and drag and drag. It was like it was never going to end, and it's hard to believe we're going to begin August in a handful of days for 2021, and we're close to the final quarter already.
Exactly. Isn't that insane?
It's amazing. All right, Zach, have yourself a great day. Enjoy the weather, whatever your plans are. I think I'll try and make myself a pool day, if at all possible, again. And we'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
All right, sounds good. Have a good rest of your day, gentlemen. Stay out of the heat. Stay hydrated.
All right, thanks a lot. Zach Petty from the Big 7, WTRF TV. TB? Did I just say TB? WTRF TV.
TBT. They've got that going on right now, the TBT. The basketball tournament.
That's right. You're right. That's exactly right. By the way, speaking of West Virginia sports, we must make time here sometime, maybe later on this morning, Biff, to talk about what's happening with the Big 12 and where the Mountaineers may end up. Shane Lyons yesterday was kind of tap dancing around this whole thing. Looks like the Big 12 is, is it unraveling? It certainly looks like it's beginning to unravel.
Yeah, when your two big schools decide to leave, that says something right now. And we see it in college basketball. College football is going to go the way of college basketball, and I think we thought within a couple of years that the landscape of college football and college basketball as we know it won't be like it is. And I think now it's just happening a lot quicker than we thought it would. You're getting to the point now where with conferences and realignments and everything, don't be surprised if you're down to about two conferences and really two super conferences, and then
two big conferences, exactly.
Two big ones, and then everybody else is hey, fend for yourself here. So yeah, I think we knew and we could see what was going to happen, but I just don't think we expected it to be this quick.
Unless there's something that happens right now, Texas and Oklahoma are contracted with the Big 12 through 2025, and I think yesterday they basically implied their intent is to honor that commitment, but there's a lot of talk that behind the scenes some things could go on, and that the Big 12 could even unravel before 2025. I noticed the Big 12 commissioner was really, I'm trying to think what word I want to, cautious. I'll just say cautious. He was really cautious in how he looked to the future. He said, well, we'll see what 2025 is in 2025. So
Going to be some changes for sure.
I can tell you what 2025 is going to be. It's certainly not going to be like 2021.
Exactly.
That's
I
for
can
sure.
tell you this, it's going to be different.
Yeah. How different? We don't know.
Your point is well made here. A lot of changes. Yeah, of course, you have this conference realignment thing that now seems to be a fait accompli. We don't know how it's going to realign. We don't know what's going to happen. But with what's happening in the Big 12, there's going to be a realignment somehow, some way. Whether it's going to be huge or smaller, but something's going to happen. So we've got that to look at. The whole business of name, image, and likeness payments, for athletes is now at the college level is becoming a big deal. That's beginning to going to change the face of college football and basketball, I think. And you have these conferences that have been getting sort of tiptoeing into the politics of things. The ACC has been very concerned about transgender athlete issues and so on. So all of these forces coming to bear, we're going to see some changes. And I think your point, at the minimum, if your point is quite well taken, 2025 will be very different than 2021. We'll talk more about this coming up later on, either today or tomorrow. I got some plans, so maybe get some folks in here to talk about what's going to happen. You'll hear a lot of talk about it tonight on Statewide Talk Line with Tony Caridi here on the Watchdog as well. Do I have to do a break, Biff? Am I okay?
No, we are okay.
If you're looking for things to do on a Friday, Jefferson Fridays are back. City of Moundsville and the Arts and Cultural Commission has announced the return of Jefferson Fridays, which is kind of a big block party event down on Jefferson Avenue. The next Jefferson Friday comes up in August 13th, where Jefferson Avenue between 2nd and 3rd Streets gets closed off. They turn it into a live music venue, big stage, lights are up there. They bring in food trucks and a beer garden. Shopping hours are extended. Lots of music. Zane Run is going to play on August 13th, for example. Other performers on other Jefferson Fridays as well. So Jefferson Fridays are coming back to Marshall County thanks to the Arts and Cultural Commission, which really has been doing a good job of trying to get fun things resurrected in Marshall County. We talk a lot about what's been happening in Wheeling because that's one of our bases, but we're also based in Marshall County with our WVOI 1370 FM 97.7 transmitter down there, and Moundsville and Marshall County has really been adding a lot of activity as well, so good things to think about. Just about 8 o'clock. Next hour, Tom Squidieri and I are going to talk about the January 6th Insurrection Commission created by the House, the controversies that are building up around that, that have built up already around that, with Pelosi and McCarthy having their, really going at it tooth and nail. So we'll talk about that with Tom, and also the pullout from Afghanistan. Pullout, is that the right phrase? I guess it is the right
Withdrawal?
phrase. The pullout from Afghanistan will continue.
Withdraw?
Withdrawal. Yeah, withdrawal maybe is a better phrase. Because pullouts, that's kind of like abandoning something. Yeah, it's the withdrawal from Afghanistan. And we'll talk about that with Tom coming up in the next hour as well. And I got this bizarre, I just have to share it with you, one of Les' bizarre QAnon theories. I'll get to that as well. Right now we'll get to ABC. They're covering the world.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
The most decorated...
All right, I'm getting some more coffee, Biff. I'll be